Well, a very good Monday morning to you, my friends. It's Monday already. The weekend has finished, unfortunately. And I hope you had a decent Sunday. Hope your Sunday wasn't too ruined. Obviously, my Saturday night was after the rubbish game against Brentford. Really, yeah, and we spoke about that briefly yesterday as well when spoke about some of the comings and goings and comings literally with a bit of pre-cum. It's a bit early, Russ, isn't it? But we're led to be believed that Daniel Cummings, the Celtic whiz kid, goal a game on average in youth team football, is having a medical today ahead of a pre-contract agreement with the club, and will be joining in the summer with compensation around £250,000. We did try and get him early, but Celtic said no. They wanted 750 grand. Looks like they're going to get about 250. So they've lost us about a couple of £100,000 really. Where obviously we signed Josh Landers. He scored in his debut for the under-18s over the weekend. We'll talk about that more in the academy show later on. The dedicated show just for the academy. They'll be up at about 6 o'clock tonight, so keep an eye on for that. And we spoke about Carlos Soler and news breaking that he's unlikely to be made. His loans are unlikely to be made permanent, mainly due to wages, really, and wage structures. And lunchtime today, we might talk about how it looks like the club's trying to get some cash flow ready for the summer and the rebuild, which is very much on the horizon. And an article that came out over the weekend suggested that Potter has identified the goalkeeping area as another area he wants to strengthen. I suggest, in my humble opinion, that all departments need to be strengthened. I think the goalkeeper needs strengthening, particularly after, I think, the shambolic, and I don't say that lightly, that word, shambolic distribution from Areola over the weekend. Very poor. And that was always why I think he would pick Areola over Fabianski. But to be honest, I thought it was very poor, his distribution. And when you're relying on your goalkeeper to distribute it, to set it up the play, so back to front, they've got to be on it, and he wasn't on it. But I also think midfield he's sorting out as well. We spoke about Carlos Soler yesterday. I also think with the Carlos Soler thing, I appreciate it in different positions, but the returning Freddie Potts, could act as could easily come in and play a pivot. And Carlos would be competing for that sort of 10 role, which would then be a similar role which would be taken up by a Paqueta, a Kadu. So there's plenty of people who are, and that reallocation of those budget in terms of wages could be used elsewhere to bring in maybe even 2 or 3 sort of younger players as well. But anyway, the goalkeeper and also the forwards need to win out as well. But he has identified the goalkeeper as an area of we need to strengthen in the summer. He's by what we're led to be believed, he's not convinced that Areola is the right choice. And when you're looking at someone like Fabianski, who is the oldest player in the Premier League at the moment, I believe, and then you've got the seasoned pro of West Fodringham behind him, providing backup, few would be surprised that we'd be looking at bringing in a goalkeeper in the summer. Areola also is quite injury prone as well. He does pick up injuries quite a bit, and that doesn't help sort of gain any momentum and form. And as I said, Fabianski, a great servant for the club, still remains a good goalkeeper, solid goalkeeper in my eyes, but he turns 40, and I think there's old father time is going to creep up on him sooner rather than later. I've no doubt, as shot stoppers, they're both great, and Areola's a fantastic shot stopper. But I just think, and I've always said, for someone who's 6'5", he just doesn't. I always find that Fabianski is a bit more presence in the box than him. But anyway, so as I said, the goalkeeper is an area he's looking at to bring in, and one of the players we've been linked with is the Roma goalkeeper, the Roma contract rebel, the article calls him, Mile Shivar. I've definitely butchered that one today. I do apologise. He apparently wants out at Roma. He's 6'2" Serbian international. He arguably has been Roma's most consistent player this season after emerging as their first choice goalkeeper last year. His contract is set to expire in 2027, but his salary apparently is only £12,000 a week, according to Italian newspaper Il Messaggero. Roma have been struggling to get him to agree a new deal. And as a result, they may be forced to take what they can for him rather than necessarily entering that final year of his contract when he's looking at getting a decent deal as a free agent. Now, West Ham are looking to maybe take advantage of this and have registered their interest in him this summer. The problem is, the report also states that Pep Guardiola loves him as well. And you would imagine Ederson is coming to the end of, not his usefulness, but coming to the end a bit like what Liverpool are doing. They're sort of evaluating their goalkeepers this summer with Alisson going, and they've got the Georgian guy coming in from La Liga already. That's been agreed. So I think there's going to be a bit of movement with goalkeepers this year. But we can only assume that, well, as I said, there's three, I think, on the list at the moment. You've got Mile. You've got the Liverpool lad as well. But again, I think he's going to be someone that a number of clubs are going to be interested in the Premier League. He's acquitted himself very well. Aaron Ramsdale as well. Southampton likely to go down. They'll be looking to get some money for him, so he'll be available at a cost, at a decent cost as well. But it does seem, as we said, that it looks like there's a lot of interest in the Roma goalkeeper, and West Ham are one of the people looking at him. So I think, elsewhere, you look within our own structure. Christian Heggie is at Debrecen at the moment. I think he could come in and be a good, decent number 2 maybe next year. Fabianski's contract is due to expire in the summer. Would it surprise me if we offered him a 1-year extension? If it was just to come in and be the number 2, it wouldn't surprise me. We've got Finn Herrick in the under 21s. Good goalkeeper, very good with his feet. He does this if anyone see, it's so much I don't see many other goalkeepers doing. He does long ground passes. So again, this is totally off subject, but it's a goalkeeper. It's all part of the same. So when someone gives a Areola, they'll give the ball to him, and usually he'll do the simple pass left or back, or if not, he'll go for a hoof up to an Evan Ferguson now to flick on. Finn don't do that. He takes the ball and rather than necessarily hoof it, he'll go straight along the ground, quick pass to the midfielder. And I don't see any other goalkeeper. I've never seen any other goalkeeper do it, and it works every time. We've also got Mason Terry as well. We also had Nuusu, the under-18 goalkeeper, who was trained, the one who saved the penalties against Man United. He's been training with the first team as well to get some experience. He's a big lad as well. He's a big unit. So I think in a few years' time, I think we've got a number of goalkeepers who could develop into being decent goalkeepers for the club. But at the moment, we've got this sort of, I reckon, a 2-3 year gap where we need some a long-term goalkeeper in maybe, and then we could bleed in the likes of Finn Herrick to be our number 2, and then eventually move, go through the sort of the pathway that way. But it does seem that he's Potter ain't keen on Areola. The long term, obviously, short term, we sort of split between him and Fabianski. I think he'll probably keep Areola mainly because he is better on the ball than Fabianski. Fabianski's never been very good distributor. Although saying that, the last couple of games he played where Areola was injured, his distribution was a lot better. So would it surprise me at the Arsenal game to see a change of goalkeeper? Probably, because I think Potter's trying to settle things down. But then again, it wouldn't surprise me at the same time. Nothing surprises me at West Ham now. I expect the unexpected. That is what West Ham fans been all about in the last sort of 2-3 years, I'd suggest. But it does seem in the summer we're looking for a new goalkeeper. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very, very much for your time. Hope your Monday isn't too shabby, Alonso. I'll be back at lunchtime to talk about all the cost-cutting measures we're trying to put in, trying to sort the cash flow out. It seems we've been putting our hands down the back of the sofas, trying to come up with a couple of quid, just to put together for the Potter Fund when it comes for the summer rebuild. And then obviously Hammerhead Lions, and being Monday we'll have the Academy show as well. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on you irons. Much love. Bye bye.